today's question, I'm going to be addressing how we can address hormonal acne from a naturopathic perspective. Typically, I would like to look at when the acne is happening. So is it happening at the first 2 weeks from day 1 to day 14, or is it happening at the second 2 weeks from day 14 to day 28? This gives us a ton of information about what hormones may be out of balance. Typically, it's never just a one-size-fits-all, very individualized approach, and many hormones are at play here. So it's more than just your sex hormones. It's also cortisol, insulin, of course your nutrition choices. So we really need to look at what is happening here. Is it a hormonal cause? If it is a hormonal cause, then we would definitely want to do a hormone panel and check in and see what hormones may be out of balance. Typically, we see DHT, which is an androgen or another form of testosterone, is being converted at the skin level and producing excess sebum, excess inflammation, and thus causing acne. This will typically be seen along the chin line and around the mouth. If you experience these are probably signs of hormonal acne, and they're typically more seen towards like premenstrual, right before your cycle. Another hormone linked is estrogen. There are a variety of causes of why women have estrogen excess, one of them being xenoestrogens, which bind to estrogen receptors in the body, acting like estrogens. So what are xenoestrogens? Xenoestrogens are these chemicals that you may be found under your kitchen sink. These are those synthetic air fresheners, plastics. This is environmental toxins acting as estrogen in the body, thus creating more of a burden on the body and the liver to clear these out, thus causing estrogen excess. The other thing we want to look at is your liver. Are you metabolizing estrogen at a normal rate? Are you a little bit slow? Because when our detox pathways are under a lot of burden, the skin takes up the slack. So you must always look at the liver. And then also we want to look at the gut microbiome. So our gut is directly linked to our skin, and all the inflammation that we eat can be excreted on our skin in the long run. Typically foods higher in trans fats or saturated fats are things that you want to watch out for. Chocolate, another culprit, dairy is a huge one. So typically a food sensitivity panel can test these things out, or you can do a trial and error, take these foods out of your diet and reintroduce them and see if anything changes. Standard American diet, more omega-6s, which are high inflammatory towards the skin. So we want to increase our omega-3s. And then the last hormone we would want to look at is cortisol and insulin. So cortisol, if it's high, which is during times of stress, which most of us are under a pretty big amount of stress, this is actually increasing sebum production as well. And then insulin actually is linked to the activity of insulin growth factor 1, which increases sebum production and increasing acne. So just as a review or a recap, we want to look at female sex hormones, which ones are out of balance. So this includes estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Then we would want to look at cortisol and insulin. Which of these hormones are off or out of balance? And then we would want to look at nutrition or dietary choices and the gut. These all combined are a great way to assess acne from a holistic standpoint, and I highly recommend that you find a naturopathic doctor who can do all of this for you. There's not one size fits all. And follow me for more tips and tricks on wellness. You can also schedule an appointment with me online at www.lakesidenaturalmedicine.com.